I found my wife's old diary and learned the truth about what she had been hiding for 20 years. There were so many times when I thought that I was overreacting, and it makes me sick to my stomach to realize that I had been completely right. I'm a 50-year-old man and I've been with my wife for almost 20 years now. We are high school sweethearts, and I have never wanted another woman in my life. My wife is stunningly beautiful, and she was an amazing mother to our children. She is incredibly charismatic and lights up any room that she walks into. She's also the type of person who makes friends wherever she goes, and she has aged like fine wine. Even though learning the truth about her has ripped my heart in two, I don't know if I have the courage to leave her after all these years. When we were younger, we both had a strong interest in traveling, so we made it a priority to travel to as many countries as we could afford. We ended up visiting almost 30 countries together and racking up years of wild, unique memories. After we had explored the world together, we decided to settle down and have kids, and ever since then, our life has been pretty quiet, or so I thought. The other day, I was rummaging around in the garage looking for an old tool I had misplaced when I accidentally knocked over a random, overstuffed box. When I was putting the box back together, I found a small pink diary with a broken lock on it. All of our children are grown, and our only daughter is turning 20 years old. I thought the diary might have belonged to her when she was a child, so I started reading it with the intention to only read a couple of pages to relive old memories. I know that my choice to read the diary might be a little controversial, but I thought it was from when she was around 8 years old. I just wanted to see if there were any wholesome childhood memories that I had forgotten about. I miss my daughter and all my grown kids so much these days, and sometimes I feel desperate for any reminders of their childhood, since it was such a special time in our family. Well, did I get way more than I bargained for? It only took a couple of pages for me to realize that the diary had, in fact, belonged to my wife. This is when I probably screwed up. Maybe I should have put the diary away as soon as I realized it was my wife's, but I guess curiosity just got the best of me. I kept reading more and more pages of the diary, and I realized she had been keeping it during the time when we were still traveling the world, meaning that my wife was about 23 and I was 24 at the time. I hadn't run into any surprises until she started writing about us arriving in Italy. I thought back to the trip. I remember it being one of our worst from my perspective, because I got food poisoning from a crappy cheap restaurant a couple days in. I ended up being bedridden with nausea for 2 days straight during our vacation, and I was feeling so frustrated that I couldn't go out and explore with my wife. But of course, I didn't want to ruin her vacation as well, and I encouraged her to go out and have a good time without me, just to remember to be safe and keep her phone on her. Based on what she told me, she had met some other tourists and went bar hopping with them one of the nights. It sounded like a good time, but I was literally in the middle of throwing up as she was telling me about the night, so I wasn't fully paying attention. I guess I should have, because in the next couple of pages of the diary, my wife started going into the details about how she had ended up sleeping with some rich Italian local that they had met at one of the bars. My heart sank as soon as I read the lines, and I started to hope that this was some sort of fictional, creative writing exercise instead of my wife's true life events. She talked about the SX in detail, as well as the guilt she felt afterwards. In the diary, she explained that she had decided not to tell me since I was in such a weak state, and she didn't want to ruin my vacation any further. To my wife's credit, she goes on for pages and pages about how guilty she felt about her mistake, and how much she regretted it. But honestly, the damage had been done for me, and I spent the rest of the day just lying down and staring at the wall, thinking about how I had been lied to for literally 20 years. I knew that my wife and I had to have an uncomfortable conversation, and there was no way I couldn't confront her about all this. But again, she's the woman I love, the mother of my children, and leaving her over this would be the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and I just don't know if I have the strength.